out there and don't have a lot of information and make ridiculous accusations.
There's just people making outright lies.
I can't say anything, but I urge everybody to watch.
To me, it's just nonsense. It's just picking my words apart. When he came in the bedroom that morning and woke me up and said all the lights are on in the house, it was a total exaggeration. Here's the thing with that nobody knows.
Nobody takes a baby to hurt her. She's coming home.
Baby Lisa's parents speak out for the first time in months, but their frustrating answers only raise more questions. We want to know the most important question: what happened to their missing infant daughter? Good evening, everyone. Jane Velez-Mitchell back with you in New York City. How did they choose to break their silence? By going on national TV to talk to Dr. Phil. And it was there that baby Lisa's mom, Deborah Bradley, admitted she didn't tell the truth about what happened the night her daughter disappeared. Listen to this from CBS television.
Jeremy comes home at 4 a.m. and all the lights are on. Now, obviously, whoever took the baby wouldn't go through the house and turn the lights on. Were you just wrong about that? Was Jeremy wrong?
When he came in the bedroom that morning and woke me up and said all the lights are on in the house, it was a total exaggeration.
A total exaggeration? What other secrets is this woman hiding? Is she lying to the cops, to the media, perhaps even to herself? Why should we believe anything she says about her daughter? And ever since her Dr. Phil taping, she has been keeping quiet. Listen to this.
Can't say anything, but I urge everybody to watch. And there'll be new pictures of her up, and we're really excited about it. It's going to reach, I think, I heard 7.5 million viewers, so... And maybe it'll even double. And we are so excited about it. We cannot wait for her face to be all over TV again and reach different people.
Does it sound like she's just a little too excited to be on television? Straight out to Ron Rugen, a private investigator on the ground in Kansas City, Missouri. Ron, do people in their community believe them, particularly the mom, Deborah Bradley, who, of course, had infamously now at least 5 glasses of wine from a box of wine that she purchased earlier in the evening on the night that her daughter disappeared?
No, Jane, the masses do not believe Deborah Bradley. That's not to say that it's universal. It is split, but not down the middle. A lot of folks have trouble believing her story, and now they have trouble with the fact that she's on Dr. Phil talking about her baby being gone, as opposed to going down to the police department and talking to them about her baby being gone. Dr. Phil is not a place to go on if you want to find a baby who you think has been abducted. All Dr. Phil is going to do in a soft, sanitized environment is show the baby's face out there, and it's very doubtful that that baby's been abducted. If you want to help find the baby, talk about clues and other things that may help find your baby, you go to the PD.
Well, let me say this. I'm a big fan of Dr. Phil's. I've been on his show talking about my book, I Want, and I thought he was very fair, and I think he asked good, hard questions, and I think he can get to answers. But you don't do that instead of sitting down with the cops and telling everything you know together and answering any question the cops want. You do that in concert with opening your heart and your soul up to the cops. Baby Lisa's mom, Deborah Bradley, has been repeatedly criticized for not allowing police to interview her and her husband together, apart, this way, that way, any way the cops want. Listen to her explain why she chose to talk to Dr. Phil instead.
Because I want her face out there and I want everybody to see her. And there's a lot of people that watch Dr. Phil that either don't watch the news or don't have cable and weren't able to see Megyn Kelly's interview and all the other, channels and stuff like that. So that's why it's really important.
Now, just today, Deborah Bradley and her husband did reportedly speak to police. This is a major development. This is something that cops say they've been wanting for a long time. Their attorney was also present, and here's what police said. Detectives did not learn anything significant, but are hopeful there will be more meetings in the future. Mark Iglorsch, everybody wants to know if they're suspects, because authorities say they're not suspects, but the mother has said she expects to be arrested. She's the one who keeps sort of pointing the finger at herself, which I find rather bizarre.
Yeah, with all due respect to law enforcement, they don't have to label somebody to be considered a suspect. You are right away. In situations like that, since statistically, most of the time when there's a child abduction, it involves someone close to the child, you're immediately a suspect unless they can eliminate you as one. And that, coupled with allegedly failing a polygraph and police breathing down her neck, she absolutely should consider herself a suspect.
Watch this scene from Dr. Phil, where baby Lisa's mom seems to position herself as the victim here.
Do you remember, for example, you reported that the lights in the house were turned off and you went to bed?
Here's the thing with that nobody knows, because I'm not going to sit on TV until now when I'm being asked a specific question and rebuttal it, because to me it's just nonsense. It's just picking my words apart.
See, she's accusing everybody of picking her words apart. Listen, Holly Hughes, former prosecutor, criminal defense attorney, there's an easy way to settle all this. Sit down and tell us what happened. We know she went and got a box of wine that night. We know she came back. We know that a neighbor came over and they were drinking. And then things get fuzzy. Of course, with alcohol, things do get very fuzzy. She claims that she put the child to sleep at 1 hour. First, I think she says 10:30, then she changes it to 6:40 p.m. Some people think that's because, well, she claimed that 3 cell phones were taken when they took the child, and a call was made from one of those cell phones that was supposedly taken with the child at 8:30 p.m. And that's why some cynics are saying, oh, she revises when she put the child to sleep at 6:40 instead of later in the night, so that she doesn't have the phone on her at the time that phone call is made, because potentially that phone call could be incriminating. What's your take, Holly?
Well, my take, Jane, is that the way to get people to stop criticizing her and picking her apart is tell the truth, lady. You lied about when you last saw your child. There is a huge difference between 6:30 and 10:30, Jane, in the life of a missing child. If you told the cops that you saw her last at 10:30, that would have given somebody 4 hours to have driven how far away with your baby. Then she says ridiculous things like, no, I didn't go out in the backyard and look around or call her name or look for clues because I was afraid of what I might find. She has created this mess herself. So now turning around, going on national TV and basically acting like some kind of superstar, you know, oh, I'm going to be on TV. It's so exciting. No, it's tragic. It is tragic that your little baby is missing and you are continually lying about what happened when you last saw her. So my take is, if you want to clear it all up, tell the truth, sit down with the police, take another polygraph, open your home to a search, whatever is necessary to bring that little girl home if she's still alive.
Well, I think that the police have searched the home, and I want to be fair here. We want to invite baby Lisa's parents on, either separately or together, or their attorney. Any combination thereof. We would love to hear their story. We'd love to hear them explain to us what happened that night. Now, in addition to baby Lisa's mom, we also got to hear from her dad, Jeremy Irwin. Watch this clip from Dr. Phil, then we're going to analyze it.
How is the community treating you two as a couple at this point? Are they supportive? Are they suspicious?
It's a little bit of both. There's a lot of people that are coming forward and helping, supporting, etc. There's also a lot of people that are out there and don't have a lot of information and make ridiculous accusations.
Ron Rugen, private investigator on the scene in Kansas City. Do we separate the mother and the father out? Because remember, the dad was at work at the time that the child purportedly disappears. He comes home at 4 in the morning. He sees a window busted in. He runs around. He doesn't see the child. He goes over to a neighbor's house, and there's confusion about what happens there at the neighbor's house. That's the house of the neighbor, the woman who was drinking with this woman earlier on in the evening. And it's quite possible he has no idea what's happened and simply on faith believes his wife.
It is possible. Jeremy was working at 40th and Main that night doing electrical work at a Starbucks, and probably at in the middle of the night, that may be a 15-minute drive, give or take, from the home. There's also some other confusion there. That evening, or earlier that day, her next-door neighbor, Samantha Brando, and her husband, James Brando, broke up and went to see a counselor. And twice, I'm told, that evening, James Brando, somewhere a little after 5 o'clock, and again after 10:30, whenever the party, quote-unquote, broke up, James texted his wife and talked to her. I've met James back in December. And I asked him earlier this week if we could maybe get together and visit again. And he said, I've said everything that I need to say.
And my invitation goes out to them, too. They are not in any way, shape, or form considered suspects in this case. We're going to stay on top of this story. And check